Hey everybody, this is Heather from Storing Up My Treasures at Blogspot, and I have several videos from our Stashbuster scrapbooking challenge of using chipboard in our layouts. And so I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys my layouts, what I did. I actually was able to get several done this time around, which I was pretty excited to do. And so let me go ahead and show you everything, and then we'll talk about what our next challenge is. And then if I don't run out of time, I'm going to show you a quick haul from Joanns. So this first layout here, I'm going to try to, most of these are two-page layouts, so I'm going to try to kind of just give you an overall view of it, and then I'll talk about them a little bit more in depth. So this is the first one. So here it is. Okay, this one is called Picture Perfect. And this particular layout, these pictures are from when my kids and I were doing silly faces in the bathroom mirror. It was a horrible rainy day outside. They were crazy, stir crazy that day. So we just took a bunch of silly pictures in the bathroom. So the chipboard in this layout is all of these frames that you see down here. So what I did is, they're just these random frames that I had from like a King Company chipboard pack. And so I popped them all out and I distressed them with a little bit of teal colored ink. And then I used a silhouette paper from the DCWV, I believe it's from their Main Street stack. And I just used those as the pictures for all of them, just to kind of keep it all similar because I didn't want it to be too busy. And then I didn't have any cameras or camera stamps or stickers or anything like that. So I used this Polaroid little strip paper here from the new playground collection by Echo Park. And then what I did is up here at the top, you'll notice there are these umbrellas, and that just kind of ties in with the whole rainy day thing, why we took the pictures in the first place. And so those are the umbrellas up here, and then I just used a couple of those recollection seed bead embellishment things to use for raindrops. So that's my first layout, and then I used some real cool metal embellishments over here to write out the words "Say Cheese," and I'll show you those in my haul. So that's my first layout. My second layout, I actually probably used the most chipboard in this particular layout, and it's this one right here. This one is entitled "A Boy and His Toys," and this whole border section on both sides, this is all chipboard. And so what I did is I had purchased a long time ago from Basic Gray this chipboard set that's a back to school boy theme, and as you can see there is a ton of chipboard even left over still, and I've used this several times. And so what I did is I just took a piece of white cardstock, and I put this chipboard on kind of in a collage type fashion. I painted over it with blue acrylic paint. And then when I was done, I took that same paint, mixed a little bit of white into it, and just kind of gave it a real light wash just to highlight the pieces. And then when I was done, I just added the rest of it. This is a picture of my oldest playing with some of his building blocks, which is his favorite thing to do. And then I just kind of added some American craft embellishments and just some different sundry things down here, some sassafras. So that's this particular layout right here. This is a great way to incorporate a ton of chipboard in a layout. So if you have random pieces from different collections that you want to try to use up, or if there's like a color scheme that's not working for you anymore, you can paint over them, and it's a great way to use a ton of chipboard in one layout. This is my next layout. This one is entitled Animal Crackers, and let me just go ahead and give you a little pan here. That's it. Okay. And in this particular layout, I used, all of these are chipboard, these animals themselves. And these are from Martha Stewart, and they are printed, but there are a bunch of different colors, and I was having trouble figuring out how to incorporate them in a layout. And so I used the green and yellow that was kind of dominant in the paper. So if they were printed green or yellow, I used the printed side. If they weren't, I flipped them over, and I used my Tim Holtz Distress ink in the Wild Honey color, and I just distressed them because the flip side of these were white chipboard. So I distressed them, and those are my animal crackers. That's where I got the name of this layout from. So this was I liked this layout, how this one turned out quite a bit. And the bonus on this one, which was really nice, is I have these layered these layered floral stickers that you see. These were some leftover stickers that I've been holding on to for a long time. And since there was some orange and stuff up in these border stickers, it was a perfect way for me to use up the rest of those floral stickers as well. So that was really nice. This next layout is using a bunch of chipboard from a Me and My Big Ideas package of chipboard I bought that had all of it was kind of an animal theme. So let me just kind of give you a quick scan. That's the layout itself. What I did in this layout is this striped paper I stamped with some kind of curly Q stamps here. This was supposed to be like sea spray splashing up from the water. I used 2 different layers of paper here. This top blue layer, it's going to maybe be hard for you to see, but I used scalloped scissors and I cut scalloped edges on that. And then I used my Tim Holtz distressing tool to kind of distress and rough up this layer of paper. And then there's a sand layer at the bottom. Some of these embellishments you'll notice have these little rhinestone bling on them, which I thought was kind of random. And so I wanted to tie in a little more bling into the layout. And so what I did is in a couple of the stamped areas, I just used some coordinating bling that I already had and just stuck it on the paper just to kind of tie it in more. And then this particular layout is entitled Fun in the Sun. And this is just a K & Company playing card embellishment that has the sun on it. And I just journaled right over it. And so that's this layout right here. My next layout, I really like how this one turned out. I think it's really, really cute. So let me go ahead, and this is another 2-page one, so let me kind of just give you a scan of it side to side. So all of these buttons that you see on the border here, these are all chipboard. This was from like a bundle pack of baby book embellishments that I bought a long time ago, and I didn't end up using the buttons. And so then I just used some coordinating ribbon and tied them, knotted them off in some of the buttons. And then I layered these on top of each other and just kind of gave it like a collage look. If you don't have chipboard buttons, which you very well probably don't, I've never really seen these in the store before. If you had circles that were made of chipboard, you could certainly take your circle punch and pop out a couple of holes and make your own button. Or if you had just plain chipboard sheets and you had the capability of cutting out your own circles, it would be really easy to then turn them into buttons. And then to cover them in paper, paint them, stamp them, whatever you want to do to make them, work in your layout. And then down here, as you can see, this layout is called Cute as a Button. I used real buttons to border it. I used my doily punch on the border here. And then I took some paper that I purchased that kind of had a stitch theme going to kind of tie in with the buttons. And I used those to help kind of just tie everything together. My last layout I want to show you guys is probably my favorite. This one right here. This one is called Grand Prize. This, it's blue ribbon, but it's a red. This prize ribbon here I made myself. I used the chipboard in this particular piece right here. This front piece right here is one of those chipboard coasters that you can pick up at Michael's, Dollar Tree, places like that. And there's actually another one on the underside. And what I did is I took equal sections of this red ribbon, I cut them, and then I folded them together and glued them. I affixed them to the back of this coaster, and then I took equal sections of the white organza ribbon, same thing, folded them, glued them together, and glued them to the back side behind this red ribbon. And then I took another coaster and sandwiched it together, glued it down to my layout, and then I used some ribbon to make the tails here. I actually used this Beacon's 3-in-1 craft glue to make this ribbon, and this is the best glue in a bottle that I've used yet. It tacks really, it's got a real quick tack and a real fast grab. It holds together very quickly. You would never be able to make something like this with white glue. As you know, it takes forever to dry and hold. This stuff grabs really quickly. It's a definite must-have in your crafting stash, especially if you go to other people's houses to craft or if you go to crops. It's great. And so then I just covered the ribbon in some Jenny Bolin paper and some 4x4 little mini papers I showed you in my very first haul. That's the same thing I used here for this ledger paper. And then this is just some banner paper that I had. I believe it's from My Mind's Eye. And I just paper pieced a bunch of other paper underneath it. This over here is a little collage I made with some Jenny Bolin stuff, this Target practice and this coupon ticket underneath. This is some Jelly Bean Soup stuff, and over here I just kind of gave it an overall kind of country fair theme. And then I used 12 by 12 craft paper as my paper on this. And these paint splatters that you see along the paper is actually this stuff right here. This is some liquid acrylic ink from Dollar Rowney. This is an artist brand ink. This stuff is awesome. It comes in this bottle. It's got a dropper top. I really, really like it. It's really easy to use, and if you use your embossing gun, this stuff dries like lickety-split fast. So this is my last layout I wanted to share with you guys. So I'm really excited. I was able to use up quite a bit of chipboard, so I was really happy. And hopefully you guys can get some ideas that you can use that will be helpful for you too. So for our next challenge, for our third episode of Stashbuster Scrapbooking, let's use ribbon. Let's figure out ways to use up our ribbon stashes. As you can see, I kind of gave you an idea here, but let's think of other ways, especially like odds and ends, little pieces here and there, stuff that doesn't necessarily match. Let's figure out ways how to use up some of our ribbon that we've been holding on to and that we don't know what to do with. So that's going to be my next challenge for our next series of Stashbuster Scrapbooking. And please, you guys, send me videos. If you can email me a picture. If you go to my blog, which is attached to my Facebook page, I have my email address, which is just simply storingupmytreasures@gmail.com. Email me a picture of your layout if you don't have the capability of making a video. Just leave me comments. Let's just share our knowledge, people, and get some ideas that we can share with each other. So let me just show you my real quick haul here. They had a ton of stuff on clearance. This is all clearance stuff. These are color box stickers. They're 144 epoxy stickers. These are cream and brown. Hard to see, I'm sorry. Black and white. Both of these were 97 cents, and they're just letter stickers, front and back. These are some other clearance items. This is from DCWV. This is their Doodling Around rub-ons, and these were 97 cents as well. This is a color box stamp set. This is from their Sorbet line, and this was 97 cents. They were also clearancing out a bunch of their different embellishments, and these are color box. These are heart-shaped metal clips. There's 24 of them in the package. This is what they look like right here. Those were 97 cents. These were some random embellishments that were over in this area with these guys, but I knew that these were clearance because they had super old packaging and none of the other stuff was packaged in this. I was really excited. I got these for 97 cents. So these are some letter brads, as you may or may not be able to see here. Sorry, let me see if I can. Yeah, there we go. Much better. Some square letter brads. These are those circular metal embellishments that I showed you in my Picture Perfect layout. And these are just, they're little like curly cues, and then they have letters punched in the center. And then these ones right here are very similar to those, but they're rectangular shaped, but same idea. Little rectangular shaped embellishments, and then they have letters punched in the center. So, and then I grabbed another bottle of the Beacon stuff. This is $4.99 regular price, but I used my 50% off coupon. So that is everything that I wanted to share with you guys. So please, if you want to participate in our Stashbuster Scrapbooking series, start thinking of ways to use your ribbon, share your videos and your comments and your pictures with us, and let's get some ideas and get motivated to keep using stuff from our stash. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Happy crafting.